Greetings and welcome to the Gadget 360 show. This is Rajiv Makni, and today I'm very excited because I did so many fun things today myself and for all of you. First of all, I promised this to you. I finally got my hands on the Mercedes C-Class, the 300, and I took a deep dive into the tech inside it. I mean, so much cool stuff. Those two huge screens for controlling the car, the fingerprint scanner, controlling the car with my voice. I even asked questions and jokes through the onboard voice assistant. Everything about that car was awesome. Just watch that story. Then we'll talk about what I did hint about last week, the Meta privacy policy update. Many questions have come in asking about this new change in Meta's privacy policy. What is the change? Why did it happen? Is it compulsory to agree to it? I'll answer them all in detail today. And then Gaurang went to the What Hi-Fi Show 2022. I'm going to take you through our coverage out there of the event, which brings all the best, the most amazing audio and video technology in the country, all under one roof. Really cool stuff.
PC gamers were in for a surprise from Sony last week. Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, developed by Insomniac Games, will be released for PC on the 12th of August 2022. The most successful superhero game in the world, which has been a PlayStation exclusive since its release in 2018, will finally be accessible to players on PC. The follow-up to it, Spider-Man Miles Morales, will also come out on PC within the next few months.
So I'm going to start off the show with some really futuristic technology because it's about the car, the Mercedes C-Class C300d, which most people say most futuristic in terms of tech in its category. And then I'm going to show you some teleportation technology, another location change of clothes, and a pair of aviators, because this in technology is called editing. By the way, the car is absolutely awesome. Watch what I did. This is a car and this is Rajiv Makni. Usually the two do not meet, right? But this time they are the perfect combination because this is the brand new Mercedes C-Class 2022, and I really like tech, and this is one of the techiest cars in its category. Now, when Rubina and Gaurang and others had gone to Mussoorie, they'd got a very quick look at that time. When I saw the story, the reviews, I absolutely and totally loved it, and I promised you at that time, I'll get my hands on the car and I'm going to give you a deep, really insightful review. But remember, my review isn't about the car. I'm not going to tell you about performance. I mean, maybe I'll show you a 0 to 100 once, right? Just to see how much it actually does work for, how many seconds does it take. But other than that, it's all about the car inside, the tech inside. Alright, so let's get started. Remember what I told you, this is all about the tech inside the car. So when you get inside the car, the best part is that immediately a few things hit you. You can't ignore the tech inside. The luxury, yeah, absolutely amazing. The fit, the finish, how beautifully everything has been put together. It is perfection. I mean, the saddle stitching, the leather, the way everything just fits together. But there's so much that immediately hits you. I'll start off with the two big screens. 11.9 inches out here, right in the center. It's kind of angled towards the driver. You won't even know because it's about 7 degrees. But when the sun hits it, you will know as a driver that this is beautifully angled to you. The second thing is just how well made the entire UI, the UX, the interface, everything is. This is really nicely done. I really like the way this car has been put together in terms of everything. The icons are simple, the sub-menus are very simple. Nothing is very detailed or complex about it. I can easily control it. But my favorite is this, the screen right in front of me. I mean, this is where the speedometer and everything else usually is. Even with direct sunlight on it, it is absolutely legible. But what's really nice is that what I'm seeing right now will dramatically change when I change the driving mode, and so many different driving modes. That again, I think is another part of this car that really works very well. And the controls are really easy. Everything in this car, I mean, there are no real buttons to touch too much, right? Most of them are just touch buttons everywhere, from the touch bar to even the sunroof, and everything else is just, just slide. And the best part is this control, the steering wheel. I feel like I'm in a Star Trek spaceship and I'm the captain, because all my controls are here. And remember, everything looks like buttons. They are not. They are all touch and slide and those kind of buttons that they put out here. On the left hand side, everything for the infotainment system. On the right hand side, everything to do with the car. And remember, it's all just touch here, touch there, slide your finger, all controlled beautifully. The part that I love about this is the fingerprint scanner. Yes, we use it on phones and we think, wow, that's a great way to enter into our phone. It's great for security. This turn does much more. Yes, it has a fingerprint scanner. Set up your profile, come in to sit in the car, just touch your finger on it and everything changes. The way I want the car, all the settings from the AC temperature to the seat position to everything else, rear view, the AC, everything that I want the car to be is what this car actually translates to. Just touch your finger. And you can have different profiles for different people. Whoever comes into the car, they own the car in every which way. Now let's talk about the infotainment system a little bit more. Like I told you, the UI UX is fantastic. This is called the Baby S, as in the S-Class Mercedes, a smaller version with the same amount of tech. But the really cool part is that a lot of the great things from the S-Class have been brought into this, including the infotainment system. It works really, really well. Everything works fantastic. Then the Burmeister system in this, we've got the C300. The Burmeister system, the audio system in this, absolutely world class. You know, it's very difficult to get the audio right in a car because there are nooks and crannies, small little pockets, corners, echo chambers, hollow chambers. You have to tune it well, and they've really tuned it well. The sound is mind-blowing, absolutely. And then there's the Mercedes Me mobile app. Now, you know, I've seen cars that have apps. They can do one thing, two things, most of them not very well. This one takes it to a whole new level. You can do almost everything other than maybe the car driving itself or you controlling it through the app. This does it all. You can lock and unlock the car. You can set the AC temperature. You can start the engine. There are so many things you can actually do with the Mercedes Me app. So as promised, that was my deep look into the Mercedes C-Class 2022. Look, you'll get a lot of people that will review cars with all the kind of stuff that you know, what is the performance, what's the engine like, what's the torque, what's the horsepower. I know you like all of that, but this is a dramatically different way. A car is nothing but a big gadget now. It's huge technology. It's amazing technology that is inside, right? And that's what I wanted to bring to you, that this is one of the most technologically advanced cars in its category. Let's take a quick break right now on the show. When we come back, lots more happening. Now let's move on to questions that have been coming from all of you. The Meta privacy policy update. As I'm back in the studio, time to answer all those questions. Now, with such an important and influential service having a change in its privacy policy, many important questions rise up, and they have, with many questions showing up here for the changes made by Meta in its privacy policy. You're getting a lot of notifications, so let me try and answer all of them right here. So the first question, what is a privacy policy and what is the change? Whichever app or service is used by us, it requires us to interact with it in many, many ways, right? So through some app, we interact with people, through some we interact with content, and through some we share our content. In some apps, we do it all. All this interaction you do generates data, and that is personal to every user. So every company that owns the app makes sure every user agrees to a privacy policy. This policy defines the rules and regulations that every company will follow to responsibly use or not use your personal data. And Meta has rewritten that privacy policy now. And the main reason they've done it is they say they're trying to make it understandable for everybody by using everyday language. They've even translated it into 11 different languages so everybody can understand it regardless of the language they prefer. The next big question, with this new update, does Meta get any new rights to the user data? In one word, no. Look, the only aim that they're having right now is to actually make things clearer, easier, easier to understand for every user. It does not grant Meta any new rights towards the user's data. The next big question, when will these changes show up? So officially they'll come into effect by 26th of July, but notifications have already started appearing on most people's phones and devices. Now comes that big question. Is it compulsory to agree to this new privacy policy change? Well, no. This is where things become very, very interesting. Indian users have got some very special treatment with this privacy policy. We get the option of still not agreeing to these changes, and we can easily continue to use all of Meta's services without any problem. There's no change in your experience. There is no change in the features. You'll get it all. You can agree or not agree. That then is all about the Meta Facebook policy. Now you know it all, take an informed decision and go ahead and either agree or not agree. But what you will agree is that the What Hi-Fi show is possibly one of the biggest showcases for everything that makes up AV, be it TVs, projectors, lasers, high fidelity speakers and home theaters. All the biggest brands show off their biggest, best of their products at this show.
The What Hi-Fi Show 2022 was an absolute blast. With speakers giving life to beautiful sound, projectors lighting up the rooms with huge, beautiful visuals, and tech that offered newer ways to control our homes, the floors were bustling with people deep in excitement. And just to share that level of excitement with you, we bring you some of the very best products we came across at the show. And the thing we're going to start with today is the JBL Synthesis by Harman. It consists of an ecosystem of products, starting with preamps, processors, power amplifiers, and just so many speakers. Speakers that go in the ceilings, speakers that go behind your walls. The sound will be there, everything will be there, but the speakers won't be within your sight. While the power amplifiers provide the multiple speaker units with power they need to output the sound, the processors under the synthesis lineup are responsible for dividing the sound being input through the connected media across all the possible channels that are connected. The speakers for these channels can be any of the speakers from the lineup, which can be placed as per the user's convenience to get the optimal performance for when they are watching a movie with Dolby Atmos or just diving deep into their favorite music by using the high fidelity audio capabilities available to them. The processors also support streaming music through Spotify Connect or AirPlay and can be connected to the streaming boxes as well to stream content. As for the cost, there is no clear limit on that, as the entire setup can cost you anywhere between 55 lakhs to more than 1 crore. Well, when we're talking about audio and video, how can we leave out Sony? Hence, we're going to talk about the HT9, a home theater system that consists of 4 speakers placed in all 4 directions with a subwoofer, which handles everything that you need out of a Dolby Atmos system. So the cinema-like experience that you need right inside a house, all of that handled with just 4 speakers, very powerful speakers with very precise sonic performance, along with a great subwoofer which can be an SW5 or an SW3. Despite the 4 speakers and subwoofer, the thing that one notices right from the beginning is the simplicity of it all. All of these speakers and subwoofer wirelessly link up through a hub that is connected to the TV. This hub processes the audio signal and divides the sound into different channels. These channels are understood by the system through Sony's 360-degree sound mapping technique, which takes into account the physics of the room and the location of every speaker to find the optimal sound channel for every speaker. This results in incredible Dolby Atmos performance with a setup that is extremely simple and easy to use. And the HT9 starts at 1,69,990. We have been talking about a lot of the bigger products. Time to shift to something smaller. The Sonos Ray was also launched at the show, and this tiny soundbar produces sound that will easily make you think otherwise about its size. The sound is incredibly detailed in typical Sonos fashion. The dialogues come out clear and the details of the soundscape are crisp. It does need help with the bass, but for the size, our little experience with it was incredible. And of course, the Ray can also easily become a part of a multi-room audio setup of Sonos speakers and also has support for Spotify Connect and Apple AirPlay too. The Ray will come in at a great price of $37,999. Alright, moving on from everything audio, time for the visuals. And the one that caught our eye first was something small yet again. So this one right behind me is the 4Movies R1, one of the smallest and the cheapest ultra short throw projector you can find. It can throw up a 1080p image that goes up to 100 inches. And the image will have HDR10 Plus support, so your blacks will be deeper, your highlights will be very, very detailed. Plus, it also has MEMC motion smoothing. So if you're watching a fast-paced movie, a fast-paced sport, everything will be extremely smooth. And the price? 1,50,000. Given you are setting at distance from the image, even at 100 inches, the image looks solid. Inside is also a very capable high-end MediaTek processor, which uses AI to further enhance the image with visual flair. And with coverage of 110% of the Rec. 709 color gamut, the colors showing up on the screen are extremely beautiful. And with Android TV on board, playing content right through the projector gets incredibly easy. Now, a look at something that provides a sharper, bigger picture in a much larger body. This projector right behind me is the Optoma Cinema XD2. The fact about this projector is it can do everything you need. It's an ultra short throw projector, which means it can throw a 4K image right underneath the screen that you want the image on. The size goes up to 120 inches. It is 3000 lumens bright. It covers 120% of the Rec. 709 color gamut, meaning the colors will be accurate and there will be many of those colors. Plus, it supports HDR10, so your blacks will be deeper, your highlights will be much more detailed. And all of this must cost around 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs, according to what you might imagine. Not so much. This one costs just 3,25,000. The Cinema XD2 also comes with some great gaming-oriented features like extremely low input lag of 4 milliseconds with a refresh rate set to 240Hz at 1080p resolution. And with the presence of an eARC port on the back, the user can also connect their preferred soundbar to couple the big visuals with big sound. A company also ended up combining beautiful visuals with incredible sonics. Plus, it gave the whole combination a twist of origami. This is the Mangano Lipson Beovision Harmony. It consists of a huge 3-channel speaker sound system housed in oak and aluminum. Right above it is a 77-inch LG OLED C9. The panel takes care of visuals while the 2.5-inch full-range drivers, 4-inch woofer and a pair of 4-inch bass drivers produce some incredible sound in the sound unit. This is how it is when it's switched on. When you switch it off from the brass remote that comes with the unit, the speaker system folds with the TV sliding inside till the entire setup is tucked into a small package. Everyone would want it in their house, but they will have to spare more than 21 lakhs for the whole setup. And with everything around our TVs getting smarter, be it lights, switches, ACs or fans, the number of apps needed or the instructions to Google Assistant to control everything keeps on increasing. How about we just use one single remote to control everything in the room? Be it the lighting, be it the music, be it what comes on the TV, everything. Well, this little remote does that. This is the Savant Pro Remote X2. It controls everything that is right here in this room. Or if I want to switch to a different room, well, that's possible too. Well, and if you are looking to sort this out without money being something to consider, well, you'll have to pay a 1.5 lakhs for this. With the screen on the controller, it shows all of the connected services and devices. So be it the lights, the TV, the speakers, your Spotify playlist, or just about anything else, it will be controlled by the remote. Whichever device is selected, the buttons under the screen are configured to that device. One can also set different routines, which when selected, the remote automatically activates everything in the room as set up in the routine. It is an expensive remote which needs a separate processor to work with, but when it does, it makes controlling your home extremely easy. And that's how it is done at the What Hi-Fi show, the best technology for audio and video in the country, all under one hub, for every visitor to use and experience. And so we did, just to bring this to all of you.
That then was the Gadget 360 show. I really enjoyed bringing this show to you. Do join me next week. We've got some really good stuff for you.